Hey guys, I hope you're all doing well. I'm sorry it's been a while since I posted on here. I think the last thing I did posted was the Christmas tree. To be honest, Christmas was the worst Christmas I've ever had in my entire life. When you heard me last, I was telling you guys how my mom had been sent to the ER and she was on a breathing machine. Then I took her off the breathing machine, and she was okay with breathing, but her mind was gone, and we thought from the medication or hypoxia. I don't know, she kept losing her mind, and eventually her mind came back, and then she went home. Everything was okay, and I stayed there Christmas night, and on Christmas night she was talking fine. We're up all night long. She can't sleep. And then in the middle of a conversation, she just started not making sense. And then as the hour progressed, it kept getting worse and worse to the point where she was like rolling her eyes and she was just out of it. So again, we had to call the ambulance. My cell phone wasn't working. Just magically out of the blue, it just would not dial out. It eventually called 911. And then it just stopped working. So the the ambulance came, took her. She was admitted into the hospital. They didn't know what was going on with her brain. And she was in the hospital for about a week, and I stayed there with her the entire time. Nurses were really nice, and they had like a little cot, like a pull-out cot, and we put it next to the bed, and I stayed there every single night because my poor dad, it's just him and I. The rest of the family has their own lives, so... And I have my own life too, but I'm willing to put it aside because she's that important to me. And my dad, I have to help him because he is hurt himself. He's got a lot of issues himself. So make a long story short, so I'd stay there at night because in the beginning, she could not stay there alone. When she first got in there, they were supposed to, the doctor ordered a sitter because she was just out of it and pulling out IVs, and she wasn't there mentally. But she was a danger to herself because she would be pulling out things and she could fall, and they were just like, oh, well, we don't think she needs a sitter, so we canceled the order for one. So I couldn't leave her like that. Come on. Just laying in a cot next to your mother and seeing all of this unfold in front of you, it has been the most horrible, I can't even tell you. It's like watching the Holocaust right in front of you, and the people that are suffering are your closest people, the people that you care most about in your life. It's just absolutely traumatic. And I'm not being dramatic here or exaggerating. This is absolutely the most horrible, horrifying thing I've ever seen. And I'm seeing it in person. It's not a movie. It's my life. And I've never dealt with death before. My dog that I loved for she was 12, she died, and that was very sad for me, but this is on a whole other level. This is my mother, and I'm seeing her in the end stages of her life, and and her mind was coming back, and the things that she was saying was very upsetting to me because I don't want to see her hurt any more than she already is. She's suffering horribly, physically and mentally, emotionally. I'm always the one that kind of like let things go, but I'm finding myself become so angry because these people are hurting my mom. I'm finding myself growing up fast. I think I might have been very mature for a long time. Obviously I have owned a business and I've been very successful in that regard and things like that, but as far as real life experiences, I've never really had anything like this happen, and this is turning me into a stronger person fast and making me realize the people that are important in my life and the people that aren't, and the people that are outsiders and choose to be, and the people that really do count. I have to say, last week I had to take a couple breaks because it's exhausting. Since it was a Christmas Eve, I hadn't slept since Christmas Eve, and this last week I got a couple of nights sleep, and then there was one time I got a night's sleep. Basically it's like 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there at night. These last few days I haven't been at my mom's. I'm at my house now because I haven't been making videos, and that's my job. I have to make videos. the last video that I had made, or the one where I was talking about what happened, and I wasn't talking about my siblings or other people in the family and how it was affecting them, because the video was mainly focused on that night that she was rushed to ICU. That whole experience was one of the first really traumatic things I've ever experienced, and I didn't mention any of those people because none of those people were there. It was me and my dad, and it was late at night. And me and my dad are the only people that are, I'm not saying that people don't visit her at the hospital, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that me and my dad are the only people there in the wee hours of the morning. Like, we were there every single night, and so we saw this unfold in front of us. That's what I was talking about, that specific incident. And now it's become one of the many incidents that we've had to experience together. And it's brought my dad and I much closer. She's not going to get better. We know that. And, but we can try to make her as comfortable as possible. She's on hospice now, but the nurses are not there very often. And when they are there, it's like 10, 15 minutes and they're gone. The doctor came twice within the, I don't even know what date it is. I'm losing track of everything. My whole time clock's all messed up. But basically, it's been a storm, to say the least. And my dad and I are up all night, every night, because she doesn't sleep. She does not sleep. And they've tried sleeping pills, and she's just anxious. She can't breathe. So I can't imagine what it feels like not to breathe. I mean, that must be awful.